More than half of Ukraine's children have been displaced since the Russian invasion, according to UNICEF, but most are still in school, including those who have fled abroad. Randi Weingarten, president of the American Federation of Teachers, has just returned from Poland after meeting with teachers and Ukrainian students displaced by the war. And she joins me now with more on that. Randi, thanks for being here. How are they managing to keep these kids in school when they're no longer in their hometowns or in some cases no longer in their country? How difficult are the logistics here?
Well, the logistics are incredibly difficult. More than the logistics is the fear and the uncertainty. So, I just was amazed at the resilience of the kids. You're seeing me go into a classroom with children, Ukrainian children. I was amazed at the resiliency of the kids. What Ukraine is doing now is, and you see I'm wearing an interpretation set because most of the Ukrainian kids can't understand Polish. Most of the Polish educators don't understand Ukrainian. The Ukrainian kids actually understand some English, and I understand a little bit of Ukrainian since my grandfather came from Ukraine. And so we were speaking in English. So in a Polish classroom, what the Poles are trying to do is to create a welcoming and safe environment where kids feel safe and secure, and where they can just kind of acculturate and feel some level of relief. What the Ukrainian Ministry of Education is doing, though, is taking a lesson from COVID and remote education. They are actually having teachers across, Ukrainian teachers who are displaced across the world and displaced in Ukraine, teaching remotely every single day and trying to finish up the Ukrainian curriculum this year. And it is of great solace to some of the kids that they see their teachers. So one of the things we're trying to get to people is, devices and things like that.
So I know you met with Polish and Ukrainian students and teachers. What are some of the stories that stick out to you?
So, look, there's two, and sorry, every time I tell this story, I start crying. There's two stories that really, really stick out to me that tell you a lot about what's on children's minds or young adults' minds. One, there's a level of trauma that is obvious and significant. One of the young adults kept saying to me, "Did you hear about Bucha? Did you hear about Bucha?" That was on Monday, and the stories of Bucha were happening on Saturday and Sunday. The sense of what is going on in terms of their people, the sense of Putin's barbarity, the sense of his cruelty, the genocide, the war criminality, that is on these young people's minds. The second thing is, one of the young men stood up in the classroom and says, in really amazing English, he says, "Will you tell American students," I told them that I was a high school social studies teacher in New York City. And of course, they all want to come to America. But they said, "Will you tell American students to be grateful that I had last month what they have?" And you could see everything has changed for Ukraine in a month because of Putin's evilness. And it's, and then you're seeing, as I'm talking, moms and teachers trying to create some spirit and trying to create and keep engagement of kids. Moms want to go back to Ukraine. Kids are both afraid and uncertain, but it's the educators, both Polish and Ukrainian educators, that are really trying to keep kids engaged. And I just have so much gratitude to them for what they're doing to help our kids and help kids, Ukrainian kids too.
And Randi, how are they managing this? Because for the classrooms that are taking in these students, there has to be, they have a limited amount of supplies. Now they have to take in all these extra kids. They're trying to mitigate the impact on their current students. So how do you manage all of that and then discuss a topic as sensitive as war, both with kids who are there and also for teachers around the world?
So there's, we walked into a few of these disputes about how to do that. Those questions are being asked and frankly answered differently over the course of the last couple of weeks. So in Warsaw, for example, they are expecting about a 30% increase in the number of kids in Warsaw's schools. So this is going to mean larger class sizes. It means needing more teachers. There was just an agreement between in Warsaw to hire Ukrainian teachers as teacher assistants so that you could have that kind of dual language work. So essentially, Diane, they are making it up as they go along, just like we all had to do during COVID. But the issue for the Warsaw students is that Poland has done quite well on PISA, and the school system is really pretty. It's a pretty terrific school system. So they want to make sure that everyone rises from this experience instead of the depth of the need bringing things down. So there needs to be more teachers. They know that. There needs to be more funds from the European Union and from us for books and supplies and other things. Assuming that there will be more, that this is not temporary, there's going to have to be more classrooms, more buildings, more support personnel. And that's what they're all working on right now as we speak.
All right, Randi Weingarten, thank you for taking that trip, and thank you for sharing your story with us, Randi.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.